across the globe, people are learning to make jewellery from their homes, creating their own small and beautiful businesses with a simple toolkit and a passion for making sparkly things. I've invited 3 jewellers to my home for 3 days of learning, making, creating, and some serious relaxation. We're back with a second series, bigger and better than ever before. This is the Jewellers Retreat. Over the next few days, 3 training jewellers will make 3 projects. From pendants and earrings to engagement rings and storytelling jewellery, they will cover it all. With only a limited time to complete each project, the pressure will be on, but we'll be cheering them on every step of the way, and we'll get to see just how some of this amazing jewellery is made. Meet Kate Seale, a Yorkshire-based handmade jeweller who is mum to a 7-year-old boy and a self-confessed gemstone addict. Tressa, a Hertfordshire-based surgeon, stepmum to 2 lovely stepsons, and founder of her own jewellery business, Russian Blue Jewellery. And Kath Dare, a mum to 4 and South London-based full-time jeweller with a thriving weekly market stall where she has sold hundreds of pieces of her work. These jewellers have all completed the 1-year diploma in Advanced Jewellery with Jewellers Academy and have come such a long way with their training. I can't wait to see how they get on with their projects and put some of their newfound skills into action. And they will not be alone, guided by 3 talented mentors. Anelia Caprina, award-winning fine jeweller who has worked in the Hatton Garden jewellery trade workshops for many years. April Dace, Norfolk-based goldsmith and experienced designer maker. And Barbara Yard, London-based goldsmith jeweller and jewellery tutor. Alongside our 2 business mentors, myself, Jessica Rose, I'm the founder of Jewellers Academy, and Anna Campbell, our community manager, jeweller and teacher. Expect jewellery making, tool porn, techniques, business tips, gemstones, and most of all, tons of fun and creativity with this talented group of budding jewellers. If you are ready, let's get started. Welcome to day 2 of the Jewellers Retreat. We welcome back in the studio our lovely jewellers. Hey jewellers.
Hello.
Lovely to have you back. Day 1 saw them making a necklace with someone special they know in mind. Today they'll be making an engagement ring and wedding ring set for an edgy couple. They have just 5 hours to complete the project, and as they are advanced students making intricate work, we have allowed them to pre-make some simple elements of the piece to see if it's possible to fit it in that time. So let's get started. Those 5 hours start now. So without further ado, let's get making. Kath, hi there.
Jess.
How are you doing today?
Yes, good, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
You feeling good after yesterday?
Yes.
Yeah?
I think so.
Yes. Ready for the next project?
Ready, yes.
Great. So tell me what you're going to be making for. It's exciting today. Engagement ring, wedding rings. I love this project. What is your take on it?
So found inspiration in an octopus. It's just a picture that I have
Love it.
on my Pinterest board, and I saw that and it caught my eye, and I really love moonstones, and I felt that the iridescence of that picture basically, so that I thought, oh yes, that could work as the main stone for the engagement ring. And then the textures here in the tentacles, I thought I could use as for the settings. So I'm doing a dome setting.
Yes.
Which is something,
Beautiful.
you know, yes, it feels quite different, feels quite sort of rounded and...
So that's a setting where you dome the metal and then pop the stone in the
so
top.
I'd like it to look sort of quite circular, the whole thing. And then the rings will lock together Where have they gone?
Interlocking rings.
Yes.
Is that these two?
Couldn't see them. Yeah, so
Been sawing these, yeah.
yeah, I'll cut those and then shape them round, and the idea is that they will sit snugly together with one sapphire in the wedding ring.
Right.
And 4 sapphires surrounding the moonstone. Set, octopus set. So
Yes,
little
octopus
donuts.
sets, yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us what that is, just for
So
anyone who
that's
doesn't know.
it's like a soldered on jump ring that I will flatten so that it doesn't look round. I want it to look nice and sort of crisp, hopefully. And and then you sort of, so it's very similar to flush, but you've got metal already there to set it. And I just feel like it just raises them, and I feel it would just go very well with the tentacle idea.
Brilliant. So you're working in gold today?
Yes, I am.
Lovely.
Yeah.
And got lots of stone settings.
Yep.
But I think it's going to be beautiful. Do you think you'll be able to get it done in the 5 hours?
I hope so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Brilliant. All right. Well, good luck. I can't wait to see your settings and your rings come to life, and I'll come see you in a bit.
Thank you very much.
Hi there, Kate.
Hello.
Looks like some very intricate measuring you're doing there.
Yes, it's got to be very, very precise with this bit.
Yes, beautiful stone.
Thank you. So, there we
So
go.
yeah, tell me what you're going to be making today, day 2.
For the engagement ring, I've got this fabulous ametrine stone, and you can see they're both part of the quartz family. And so the amethyst obviously has got the purple, and you've got the citrine with the yellow, so different impurities causing those colours. And you can see just between where they match, there's just this lovely line.
Yes.
So you've got the 2 colours.
I love it. I love the shape of it as well. It's a nice irregular stone, isn't it?
Yeah, fabulous stone, and that's one of the tricky things that I'm trying to work on at the moment. So I'm wanting to create a seat that will support that stone, but I've got to match it perfectly to all the angles and the lengths of the stone.
Great. So you're setting that stone in gold.
I am, yes.
Lovely. Is that so? That's the engagement ring.
It is, and I'm going to have a mixed metal vibe going on to sort of match the 2 different colours within the ametrine. So I've got a silver ring band. I've made this one already just to make it a bit quicker today.
Possible.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to have silver claws as well. So there's going to be the gold seat and silver claws and silver ring band.
Oh wow. Okay. So you've got more stones.
I do have more stones. So this is for the wedding ring, and then I'm going to do a micro claw setting on the gold wedding band.
Beautiful. And that's one of the techniques you learn in the diploma, isn't it?
It
The
is
micro
indeed,
claw.
yes. One of my favourites.
Oh, lovely.
So hopefully it will work really nicely today. I've done a bit of preparation on this again because one of the tricky bits is measuring it all out and making sure that you've got exactly the right distance between
And
everything.
are these your little stones,
They
the
are.
amethyst and the citrine?
Yeah, so I've got amethyst and citrine again to match the amethyst and the citrine within the ametrine.
Wonderful. It looks beautiful. I can't wait to see it come together.
you.
So obviously on day 1 there was a bit of a struggle for time, but you did amazingly well in the
Thank
time that
you.
you had. Do you think you'll manage to get this one done in 5 hours?
Fingers crossed today. Yes,
We're going for it.
we're going for it.
Okay,
Absolutely.
That would be amazing. I would love to see it done. But I will let you get started. So I won't
Thank you.
take any more of your time, and I will come and check on you in a bit.
Brilliant.
All right.
Thank you.
Hi there, Tracker.
Hey Jess.
How are you getting on?
Yeah, good thanks.
Ready for day 2?
Yeah, day 1 was fun.
It was.
Yeah,
It was
in
brilliant.
retrospect.
Yes. Yeah. After sleeping on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your project was amazing.
Thank
so
you.
well done. So what are we going to be making today?
So today I've kept it simple, so I've kept the stone as the kind of star of the piece. So this
Love that.
is a teal sapphire trillium cut.
That is gorgeous. Can I have a little look? Look at that sparkle. I love teal coloured stones.
Me too.
Beautiful. So that's the main central
That's the main.
engagement ring.
Yeah.
Lovely.
And then I'm going to use, so a simple gold wedding band, but I've made it into this kind of wave formation.
Beautiful. Yes, yeah, love that.
And then for the engagement ring, I've matched the shape, but in 18 karat white gold, because I actually love that kind of grey gunmetal colour.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I've got 18 karat yellow gold for the bezel to go on the white gold shank.
Lovely.
So I'm then going to use a collet block to taper that and then cut into the bezel to get it to sit on the ring, which is probably going to be the most fiddly part.
Nice.
And then, depending on how much time I have after all of that, I'm going to be grain setting these little 1.5mm diamonds in.
Beautiful.
So I'll start with one on each side and see how we get on.
And for anyone who doesn't know what grain setting is,
It's
describe
a
it.
bit like flush setting, so you've got to get a perfect seat for the stone, but instead of rubbing over the edge of the metal, you use a graver, normally a half round graver, to lift up some metal into a bead, and then you round that off on top of the stone. So you need at least 2, ideally 3 or more, but because these stones are so small, I'm hoping that 2 opposite each other should be enough.
Beautiful. Wonderful. Well, I can't wait to see it come together. Do you think it will be done in the time?
I hope so.
Yes. You managed
Yes,
yesterday.
I did manage yesterday,
Yes.
and this is a simpler design, so yes, as long as I don't have another soldering nightmare like yesterday, we'll be okay.
Great. Alrighty. Well, we have our mentor here as well to help, so she'll be along shortly.
Great.
Great. I'll check on you in a bit.
Thank you.
Today, the students will be guided by mentor April Dace. April is a fine jewellery designer maker and twin mama based in Norfolk in the UK. After completing a BA in Jewellery and Accessories at Middlesex University, she went on to train under a master goldsmith before launching her own jewellery business, making bespoke pieces for her customers. Her jewellery is elegant and timeless, and quality craftsmanship is the backbone to everything she creates. April is also a mentor on the Diploma in Fine Jewellery at Jewellers Academy, helping students to achieve new levels of technical and creative ability in their jewellery making.
Hi Kat, how are you getting on?
Hi, I'm just having a bit of a ponder about, so I made some samples, and because I'm doing a dome, I need to make a seat for the stone to sit on.
Okay.
And previously when I've soldered the jump ring and then put it in and then soldered it, it's moved about a lot within the dome and attached itself. So I'm just wondering whether do I need to solder that jump ring? Or
Yeah, so what you're saying is you've made all the parts separately, and then you've obviously needed to put in this jump ring to
yes,
pop the stone on top of so it doesn't wobble. So you're asking sort of what stage to put that in, once the ring itself is assembled or before you assemble those parts together?
well,
And what would be best? I mean, either option is fine, but personally, for ease of keeping everything level so you don't get an uneven stone, I would make sure that your collet and your band is already soldered together,
yeah,
and then you can put your jump ring seat in after that, because you've got slightly more control
Yes.
onto how it's level, and also how you're evenly heating around that top
yeah.
section, and that is the thing that's going to be the issue with the movement, whereas everything else is keyed and located.
Okay. And would
part-wise.
you solder that join or not?
It's not completely necessary,
for-
although just in that case, making sure if you don't solder it that it's completely flat.
Yeah.
And it, you're not going to get, as you can see with the jump ring, that
Yes, a
it's
little
not
bit.
springing open like that, because that's going to make it completely unlevel for your stone.
Yeah, I think what
So-
I've tried in the past, but I don't know whether it's necessary or not, is to actually hammer it.
Yeah,
So
flatten
it
it.
is flat.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay,
absolutely.
great.
I would do that, because you've got a flat surface then to set your stone into,
Yeah, because it's
and it's going to be
cabochon,
level
so with a
and
flat
flat,
back.
and you know,
Yeah,
yeah.
perfect. Right, thank you very much. That's great.
You're very welcome.
Thanks.
Just you want to see this tool?
Oh yes, always.
So this is a normal ring shank bender, but they now do these smaller ones for bezels.
Oh, lovely.
So
So you've got a big clamp.
I've got a big clamp, and then I've placed the bender into the
This
clamp.
is a ring bender.
Yep, it's a ring
Gotcha.
bender, but you can get either these plastic Delrin or metal bits with the, and these are always metal, and
So
they
it's all
come in different sizes.
Great, gotcha.
Exactly. So I've had a look at the stone, and I think the 10 kind of matches the curve of the stone,
Nice.
because the trillion, rather than having straight sides, it's got that kind of swelled curve.
Yeah.
So now that I've filed my bezel, I'm going to curve it with the stone to match the stone using this, and then I can bend the corners in and hopefully solder it, and it's all going to work.
Wonderful. Let's see.
Right. let's
See it
go
in
for
action. You've
So
done
I've-
this before?
No.
We'll just try it
Yeah.
on a show. I like it.
I mean, how long can it go?
So what are you doing, kind of gently
So I'm
moving
just
it
gently
around?
moving it around. I'm trying to get that curve in. There we go.
You've already cut those little grooves.
So to make the grooves, I first cut them with a saw, and then I used a needle file, a triangular needle file, because I'm hoping that the angles are going to be about 60 degrees for the corners. So it's just trying to get those curves in, just not really wanting to behave. There we go, that's better. So once it's started, it's getting a bit better.
And it's nice soft nylon, so it's not going to
Yeah, mild metal.
metal.
Cool. So there, I can get it off. There, it's now curved round, so I can now do the corners.
Ah, I see. So each little edge has a little curve to it.
Yep. Which will
Brilliant.
hopefully match that.
Oh, that's amazing.
Okay, how are you getting on?
Hi April. Yeah, good. I'm just about to solder the two halves of the seat together.
Yeah.
And because I've got to get them exactly right, I'm quite worried about it moving whilst I'm soldering.
Yeah.
I've got a few things that I could use to position it and to support it. But have you got any recommendations?
Yeah, so it's good obviously that you've got it set up nice and flat, so you know that the top section is going to be level and the bottom section is also going to be, you know, set exactly how you've shaped it. So, and also with your honeycomb, that's great because you're going to be getting the heat under it for soldering. If you're worried about it moving, obviously with the heat, what I would say is to try and potentially pin it in place with your little rods here in key sections, so you know that there's not going to be any movement while you're soldering.
Brilliant.
So hopefully that helps.
Super.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Not all successful jewellers work on their jewellery business full time. Tressa is a surgeon, working long hours already, and in the time in between, she has built up some amazing skills as a jeweller and launched her own jewellery business. She shows how you don't always have to give up your day job to advance as a jeweller.
Hi, I'm Tressa, and my jewellery business is called Russian Blue Jewellery. It was named after my cat, who is a Russian blue cat, and my jewellery business is making fine jewellery in mixed metal. So I tend to use a lot of silver with high carat gold, getting the colour contrast, and then also using contrasting textures and shapes with really nice gemstones. So I started jewellery as a hobby. My younger stepson, when he was 13, he was really into making knives, and he wanted to build a forge in the garden. And so we took him on a kind of one-day blacksmithing course, and I just loved watching how metal moves, but I wasn't really a let's stand outside in the cold and get covered in coal type of person. So I thought, well, what can I do that's smaller and I love jewellery, so I thought, wow, I didn't realise how jewellery was made until then, and the more I looked into it. So I started it as a hobby, went on a few courses and then got totally hooked, and then realised, well, I keep buying these tools and making this jewellery, what am I going to do with it all? And so that's where the business came from. My favourite tools are my Green Lion saw frame. I got it made in Paduke wood so that it matched the kind of frets hammers, and then I do love the pulse graver, not just for engraving but even for setting. It's just a really useful tool to have around. So I work full-time as a surgeon, and then I fit in the jewellery making and the business around that. When I was training to become a surgeon, there was so much kind of research and learning and exams, and so once I became a consultant I didn't have to do any more exams. I still had this desire to just keep learning and keep improving, and then I found jewellery and it became a real passion, and so the job's quite stressful, so having the jewellery and being able to take time and just make really precise, beautiful things has been a great outlet for me. So I think the thing I feel most good about is having learnt how to do pave. I think I've always seen jewellery in kind of high-end retail outlets and looking at all of that micro pave and going, oh my gosh, I can't imagine ever being able to do that or even knowing how to do that. So being able to learn that and now doing it, it's not perfect, but it's getting better all the time. That's probably my biggest achievement so far. I think my biggest struggle in the jewellery making journey so far has been finding time to make jewellery. So I've tried to dedicate, I work quite long days, but as a result I do get time off during the week, so I've tried to dedicate that to either the jewellery making or at the moment to the diploma and getting those projects done. So it's just finding that balance whilst also still seeing my family and friends. So what I love most when someone buys a piece of jewellery from me is their reaction. Beforehand, you just feel so nervous, like you're selling a kidney, and then when they actually open the box and usually really love what you've made, it's just such a good feeling. My experiences of the Advanced Diploma were just even better than I imagined. So having those regular Q&As with the technical teachers and then also having the one-to-ones with your technical mentors, getting that feedback and that reassurance. I think especially because it's not my main career, I've always had quite a lot of imposter syndrome about being a jeweller, and getting Hayley saying, yes, you are a professional jeweller and this work is at the standard that you could sell in a high-end shop, just made me feel amazing. What I love most about Jewellers Academy is the community. Jess has just created this environment where it doesn't matter if you've never picked up a saw before or if you're doing high-end jewellery. Everybody feels very included. You can ask any question and not be afraid to do so. And then on top of that, it's always developing. There's always new courses, new things being offered, like the coffee mornings, kind of getting that face-to-face interaction after all those years of COVID. It's just brilliant.
Oh, my son. For some reason, this just will not flow, this solder.
Right, let's try keep the heat even over the jump ring. Yeah.
What we're thinking?
Looks like, I think what you need to do is stop with the heat and just check it now, just because it's getting quite hot.
Get the loop in. Go on, have a look, see what you think. Is it finally gone? Maybe the torch just was not enough before.
I think it's gone. Yep. Yay.
Oh, wow. So was it, I think the torch was just losing power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. So a bit more gas.
Yes.
Okay, jewellers, so we are now at the midway point. You are halfway through your time. You've had 2.5 hours, 2.5 left. And don't forget, we need any stone settings, any polishing, all to be fit in that time. So I know the pressure is on, but you can do it. You're doing an amazing job so far. So just keep going, keep up that momentum. Kate.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Yeah, okay, better than yesterday, I think.
Yes.
So bit more
Progress.
on track for time.
This looks amazing. What's happening over here? There's lots of gold pixie dust.
I know, it's so glittery. I'm just starting to do the microclaw setting. So I have enlarged the hole using a ball burr.
Yeah.
And I'm now using a setting burr to make the seat properly for the stones, and I'll check them, and then what I'm going to do is shape the claws so that I can actually have that little claw out of the metal to push over.
Wonderful.
So, lots of burring and lots of looking through the magnifiers.
Very detailed work. It's not something you can do just with a naked eye, is it?
No,
you
definitely
need
not.
these optivisers.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
The optiviser.
Brilliant. And what kind of gold is it?
So this is 9-carat yellow gold. I've actually used single mine origin gold, so SMO gold from Betts. So I know that it's come from their mine in, can I remember where? I'm not sure I can remember. I have to look it up.
You know
I
the source of it.
Yeah,
so
I can find the source of it, absolutely.
Yeah, and ethical jewellery is really important to you, isn't it?
It is, yes.
Yeah.
So the stone that I'm using and the amethysts and the citrines have all come from a family-run mine in Brazil. So the lady who sells them, she's got her own mine. She knows exactly where the stones have come from. She knows exactly where they've been cut. And she tries to operate the mine as ecologically friendly as well.
It's brilliant. Yeah, it's so important, isn't it? And I think customers these days are finding that more important as well, is to understand where the materials are sourced from and the ethical nature of it as much as we possibly can.
Yeah,
So
absolutely, yeah.
brilliant. All right, well, I will let you crack on with your micro core. Good luck.
Thank you.
Making wedding and engagement rings are great skills for any jewellers to master, as they are always in demand. But getting those rings to fit just right is an art form. There are many ways we can resize rings, and one of them is using a very cool tool called a ring stretcher and reducer. Let's have a look at how we can resize our rings using one of these tools.
We have the top section here, which is a tapered steel mandrel, which moves as you pull the handle and opens up and tapers to stretch the ring. This bottom section here spins with different size and tapered dies in sort of the cone shape, so that you can put the ring in and compress it down and shrink it in size. So I'm going to show you first of all what we need to do. First of all, we need to measure the ring, the existing size. So that one is an M1/2. And it's important to check both sides, just because it may be that they're slightly different, and with this cone shape, you need them to be even. So we will start by annealing the ring, which you will have already done, and then letting it cool and pickle. For stretching, we place the ring on the tapered section firmly, pull the handle back, let it slide down to the furthest point, and gently push the handle bit by bit, and you'll see it will shrink down again and again. And we have to be aware of how many sizes we want to go up, just because if you go too far, obviously that's going to be too big. So it's stretched up approximately half a size, and again we check both sides. It's now an N1/2. If we need to go a little bit more, we go again. Gently, gently, better to err with caution. And then in terms of compressing, if you end up going too far, too big on the size, you can easily take the ring size down again by using the bottom section, which is the tapered die. So we need to lift this bottom press up and locate the ring in the right sized die. It wants to be, that's too big, it's sitting inside, but it wants to be sitting just above the top of this plate. And just as a quick tip, this does flip over with different sizes. So this one looks like the perfect size because it's the ring edge is just peeking up over the top of the plate. We spin that round to the press and it's the same motion with the handle. Pull down firmly until the ring shrinks into the die, and you need to turn it over so it creates an even compression. And that's it, that's one compression. So that's gone back down one more size. And if you need to go more, you just repeat the steps going down in the size of the holes in the plate. It's important to mention as well, with softer metals like silver and 18 karat gold, or even 22 karat gold, you'll find it easier to stretch and compress just because the metals are softer. With 9 karat gold, you may find that you need to anneal it more often just to make it easier, because you are putting quite a lot of stress on the metal from all sides, especially with the stretching. Also to mention, around about 2 to 3 sizes is probably a good guide for you to go by. Anything more than that, you've got to be aware of the thickness of the metal and how much you're going to put stress on it, how thin it's going to get. Also with shaped rings, although they're plain, it's not a good idea to stretch, because you are stretching from all around and it will end up elongating and distorting the shape. And that's exactly the same with a stone set ring. You don't want to put any pressure on stone settings and making that vulnerable. That's an easy way to compress or stretch plain rings or wedding bands.
How's it going, Kate?
Yeah, okay actually. I'm setting the, I'm cutting the seats at the moment, but
Okay.
getting there. Touch wood. How about you?
Well, just got that out before.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's completely copper plated,
Yeah.
which is a real pain.
I find 9 karat gold does that thing. It will come off. It will. Have faith.
It's more time, isn't it?
I know.
Have enough wood.
I know.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you.
A key element in any jewellery business are our customers. How do we find them, speak to them, and sell handmade jewellery to them? It's no surprise in this day and age, many people find jewellers to work with through social media platforms such as Instagram. Let's take a little look at how jewellers might promote their work online. Anna, how can a jeweller promote themselves on social media such as Instagram?
Yes, so I adore social media. I love being able to use that. And I think as jewellers, it's brilliant to have such a great tool to be able to share what we do visually as well, which is what Instagram is great for. People buy from people that they know, like and trust. And social media is a brilliant way of building that know, like and trust really, because we can share not only just our jewellery, but a little bit about what's inspired us, a bit about us and our lives and things like that. And it's in building that connection with people that we're going to find our customers.
Absolutely, the connection is key, isn't it? And I think in terms of practical steps, sometimes people feel like they need to post every day or get really overwhelmed with social media, but actually even just posting once a week and being regular with it so that people see when they come and look at your Instagram account, oh, they're still here, they're still making, they're still kind of putting stuff out there. And focusing on video content more than images at the moment is really key, and it can be really kind of casual, like little round the workshop, showing behind the scenes, showing what you're making, starting those conversations, I think. And last but not least, being social. So sometimes we post and go, so we just share something and then disappear. But actually interacting with others on social media is a great way to encourage them to talk to us and build those connections, which will hopefully lead into sales in the long run.
Definitely. I think it's so great to be able to use this tool to really be able to kind of share a little bit about the excitement that we have with our jewellery and our jewellery designs.
Okay, jewellers, we have just 1 hour left of making time.
I heard a noise from you, Kath. What's going on? Speak to me.
It just feels like there's not enough time, but I'm going to try, but I feel like looking at this right now, how am I going to do that?
In an hour. Well, you never know. You never know. You've had some issues though, haven't you? Things that don't normally happen.
Yeah. No,
Often the way. What's next for you?
Well, I've got my last solder joint for this, and then I think I'm hoping to feel a bit differently about it, and then clean up and then set stones.
Lovely.
So yeah, just
So what's the solder?
the way soldering is going today, I'm not, as confident as perhaps I would be in my own studio. So
Yeah. That makes sense. It's very different being in a different environment, having cameras round, the stress of the time. So you're doing incredibly well. So you're soldering the jump ring, the final jump ring into the seat, is that?
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but take that little peg out of there as well, and then clean it up, and that's it.
But one ring is done and it looks amazing. I've seen it. So
Thank you. Yes, no, that's,
there is hope, there is progress.
we live in hope.
We do, absolutely. Oh, well, good luck. Keep going.
Thank you.
I've had a genuine disaster.
Oh no. What is it?
So I was trying to burr out the back of the bezel and back of the shank to make the bezel open at the back, and the burr's broken off.
No.
I accidentally used a carbide burr, so I can't even drill it out with a carbide burr.
I think we need April. April.
I'm on my way.
Disaster has struck. Okay.
It went in that way.
So you're drilling, burring through that way, okay.
Beautiful thick bezel. Side note.
It is. I think you may have to try and hammer that out.
Oh, that was a good one. Oh, it's out.
Brilliant.
Go.
Oh my
So
goodness.
quite simple then, that's good. Well done.
Miracle. A little miracle. Okay, jewelers, I can see you're all working really hard. This is the final 15 minutes. So we have just 15 minutes left to complete what you can of your projects.
Living citrines. I'm never working with citrine again. The amethyst's been alright. I think it's caught otherwise, right? Yeah. I've never smashed that so much. It's a lot of stress and pressure. Yeah. Continue. Right, okay, look. Deep breaths.
Yeah.
Deep breaths. We'll show you what to go on. Show you what to go on.
Okay, jewelers, time is up. That brings us to the end of your making time. Please stop what you are doing. You have done all you can, and you've done an amazing job today in the time that you have had. So if you could get your pieces onto the mentors table ready for feedback, we can't wait to see them. Big well done. So April, the jewelers have completed their projects. How do you think they got on today?
I think they did amazingly, especially considering they have a time constraint. Obviously, they're in a different environment. I think they've done so well, considering as well how ambitious they all were. So, yeah, brilliantly, really good.
absolutely. So we'll go through each one by one and have a little look at them, and you can give your feedback, what worked well, what they could perhaps work on for next time. So we'll start with Kath's over here. She has these lovely octopus-inspired rings. So tell us, how this went and your feedback for Kath.
Yeah.
On that.
So Kath had some ups and downs for sure. I think her wedding band, she actually got that finished fairly quickly with the stone setting. That went quite nicely for her time-wise. The issues did come when we were doing the engagement ring, but she absolutely overcame them. We had a couple of issues setting that centre stone, but really it's in there, it's set, nice and firm, and I think the designs just work so well together.
Yeah,
So-
it's so different, isn't it?
It really is.
Kind of
It's
beautiful.
completely unique. Yeah.
And she had to really have a go at that one, didn't? Because you
Yeah.
were saying because it was round, it just
Yeah,
kind of
that kind
kept
of
slipping.
shape, especially combining that cup shape and the rounded cabochon, and the fact that she's using 9-carat gold, which is especially hard.
Yeah.
It was tricky. It was hard to push over that edge, but she got there with a hammer and a
Perseverance.
yes, exactly. So, yep, she did a grand job there.
Brilliant. And next up we have Kate.
Yeah.
So tell us about Kate.
Yeah, absolutely love the ambition that Kate has put into these pieces, the thought behind them. She had a great start time-wise, but I think unfortunately just with how things go with jewellery making sometimes we did see that she had a bit of an issue with the stone.
Little chip on the side.
A little chip,
yeah,
which
yeah.
is absolutely something that can happen at any point to any jeweller at any time, especially with such a geometric stone with all these vulnerable points there. It's so easily done, but she did really well to just keep going, carry on, and
Absolutely. And the time pressure is tricky, isn't it, with stone setting?
Yes.
Because you kind of just need that calm,
Yeah.
peaceful environment, and we're
That's
all
right.
there like, go, go, go.
Yeah, that's it. And it's easy just to slip up
Yeah.
in that moment.
Yeah.
So I think,
Yeah.
she did
But
incredible
it's amazing.
considering.
I love it. And I love this, this design where there's that kind of gap in the middle of the band, which
Yeah.
the other one fits on top of.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah.
beautiful in the claw settings. She didn't
Yeah.
quite get round to finishing all the settings that she wanted, but again, in just 5 hours
Yeah.
to do all of that is
Yeah.
incredible.
It is
So,
incredible. Yeah.
brilliant. And last but not least, we have tresses. So bring those over to you.
Thank
Have a
you.
chat about those.
Yeah, again, so I absolutely love the simplicity of these ones, but that's not to say that simplicity isn't complex. And I think you can see the amount of time that has gone into the precision of these pieces, especially the collet setting there. She took a long time doing that, and I think that certainly pays off because she's got an absolutely spot-on fit for her trillion. We did have a bit of an issue with the burr getting stuck, but again, she did amazing to keep calm and just crack on and get that burr out of there. So yeah, again, fantastic job with those. Yeah, and they look great together. The contrast with the grey 18 carat, natural 18 carat, and the yummy 18 carat yellow gold. I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, they're
So
gorgeous.
fab.
And like you said, sometimes less is more. She was planning
Yes.
to put some grain setting as well, and she ran out of time. But
Yeah.
actually, I think it looks really gorgeous as it is.
I think that's the great thing, that you can really focus on that centre stone, and obviously those grain set shoulders would have been lovely, but within the time she's put all the time into the collet, the centre setting, and that's what she needed to do. So,
beautiful.
yeah.
They've shown a lot of resilience today.
Yes, they have. Yep, absolutely.
Great. And you have some awards for them?
I do, yes.
Would you like to share those?
So the first one is One I Would Wear, and that one is going to go to Tressa's Trillion set.
Beautiful.
And the reason for that is, as I mentioned, the simplicity of it. That sleekness is something that I'm drawn to, so that's something I would go for. And I love a rub over setting. I'm a bit of a, I'm drawn to those. And then we have the Great Technically, so that one is going to Kate.
Lots of technique in there, isn't
A
there?
lot of technique. a lot of time gone into the thought process of how it's all going to go together, the claws, everything. So great technically there, especially with the collet shaping.
Yes.
And then we have the great use of materials, and that one will go to Kath, because I think she really thought about her moonstone was her kind of starting point, trying to fit it into the inspiration of that octopus, that kind of see-through, you know, those bluey hues, and then she married that up with thinking about the colours that are going in the accent stone, so the blue, and she really thought about that, and especially those jump rings. I think that was really innovative way to set them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Brilliant. Well, thank you, April, so much for being here. I know the jewellers really appreciated your help today, so it's just been wonderful to have you.
It's been great to be here. Thank you.
That brings us to the end of day 2. Lots of wonderful pieces made. Thanks for coming on this journey with us. Join us next time where the jewellers will be making a piece that showcases their signature style. This is a chance for the jewellers to really show what they can do with their unique design styles and creativity. For now, we're off on a little bike ride. It's been another great day at the Jewellers Retreat. Until next time, from me and all of the jewellers, happy making!